It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Tonight, let us make them remember we are not afraid!
No fear, no fear, no fear, no fear. Here on Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, each and every day here from the beautiful studios of Freedoms with an S, freedomsphoenix.com in Phoenix, Arizona. My special guest today, we have Matt Bruce from Florida. He is a host of a radio show called the Captains America Radio Show. CaptainsAmerica.com. Now, he has a son that's in Afghanistan right now, a third tour, and he's a Marine, and he's kind of, in the middle of it. And we have Matt is also, he does another show called Troop Talk Radio that's sponsored by the Department of Defense. So we got somebody that's got some, he's got an opinion, and he's in a position to have an opinion. Now, what we're going to be talking about today is WikiLeaks and how this controversy and what's being released in the terms of information and so on has an impact on the troops. Are they better off, worse off? Should we? We're going to get into it. Now I'm going to let Matt, and everybody knows my opinion, and Matt and I talk for a little bit, and he knows, where I'm coming from. I'm like, give me all the information. When you got it, it is mine, man. I paid for it. So, there's an opinion here, and we're going to find out what Matt's is. I got you there, Matt?
How you doing, Ernest?
I'm more than wonderful, and you?
Well, not too bad on this cool day in Florida.
Oh, well, we're having a nice day here. Yes, in Florida and Arizona. It sucks to be all y'all in Chicago, you know what I mean?
I'd rather not be up there, single digits.
Well, let's go ahead and get your perspective on, we got, a good, probably 7-8 more minutes in this segment. I'm going, all right, let's give Matt his say, man. Go for it.
Okay, well, WikiLeaks, of course, is a situation, a website which was started back in 2006 by one Julian Assange. And basically what he does is he started out taking information not just from the United States, but from countries in Europe and other countries around the world, sensitive information. Some of it wasn't secretive to begin with, nor was it classified. And he would put it up on his website and offer it for sale. Now, you could buy it through Amazon.com, PayPal, MasterCard, Visa, or you could send the guy a check. We first found out about WikiLeaks back in 2007 when one of his cohorts that had worked there and started the website with him went off and started his own site called cryptome.org, which is also a for-sale site information. Now, what we found out and how WikiLeaks came to the forefront was this gentleman had an agenda, and his agenda was one that could be tied to one George Soros, who had originally given money to Julian Assange to get WikiLeaks up and running, and on at least two other occasions has also given him money to keep himself going. And I'm talking about serious amounts of money. We don't know exactly, but we believe it was in the tens of thousands of dollars. Also, when he did release the information that's become viral in July, in September, and of course going on into October, and more leaks of information today as November, December, the first information that he released was about the Iraq War. Well, when the information came out, it was kind of funny that included in the files, which the media, the old, and I call them the old stream media, Ernest, the old stream media chose to ignore the fact that there was a whole section in there about Saddam Hussein's WMD program and the fact that he was, in fact, seeking WMDs, did have a program in place, And as far as where the WMDs went, it was believed, based on the communiques that I've read, that I've seen, that I paid for, that they went to the Bekaa Valley over in Lebanon. All that being said, we're at the point where we are today, where finally the information he's releasing is coming from our State Department, which is affecting the way that we do business with our neighbors and our enemies around the world. And we're finding out all kinds of great things about how the Arabs wanted Iran removed from the nuclear scene. They wanted attacks brought on there. Also, I might add that when those first papers came out against the military and disclosing our military routines and secrets and how we treated enemy combatants, it did affect our troops initially. The rate of attacks in Afghanistan almost tripled, and they intensified to an all-time level. They did the same thing in Iraq, but in Iraq you've got an army that's much better equipped, and I'm talking about the Iraqi army, and they quashed it. In Afghanistan, it's still going on. So that's the gist in a nutshell right there.
Okay, and your problem is what? I mean, you could say this about a lot of media. Heck, you could say this about the New York Times. You could say this about the Pentagon Papers. You could say this about, information to American people that would affect our foreign policy and a lot of other things. So I'm wondering, my question is, of course, is what would you rather have happened? What would you like to have seen? This information not be available? I'm not really understanding what your alternative would be.
Well, I'm not saying the information shouldn't have been made available if it was okay to release it, but there's a process that you go through here to get classified documents or to get documents that are rated secret in order to publish them. You don't just merely purchase them from an Army PFC who, oh, by the way, if you think he was operating by himself, I've got a bridge I'll sell you over the Hudson River in Dallas, Texas. We know there were 60,000 incursions made by flash drives and by CD discs. We know that now. That couldn't have possibly done in the time frame allowed by one person. There are other people that are involved in this, and military intelligence is taking the lead on this. So maybe military intelligence will be able to find out, and I wouldn't be surprised to hear about some civilians being named in Washington somewhere along the line. Would you?
Nothing surprises me anymore. My question is that we have wars that we're engaged in that was based on information that we find as time passes was not accurate. Well, you have an opportunity to see what was really going on, what the rhetoric is between the State Department and other people, what the military is really saying, what other countries really wanted. And I give you a good example. Like you say, the other Arab countries wanted Iran taken out. We want their nuclear capability done, even whether it's for civilian or not or whatever. But all I see is justification for what was Ron Paul was accused of during his presidential run. Well, what are you saying? You want the other side, the enemy, to be the ones that determine our policy and so on? And then when it's to the bit of some people, they're going, it's exactly what they wanted. They want whatever it is Israel wants. And if Saudi Arabia agrees with Israel, well, then we're on the same side. But it never comes down to what I want. First off, I need the information to even know what the heck it is I want. And the other thing is I'm going, can I not, be part of going bombing and killing people? Because what we get in, we just had this big TSA thing. And you have people, we're going to opt out. We're not going to, we got to do the pat downs because people want to kill us. And I remember Dr. Paul was on CNN or Fox with some representative from the Bush administration had got up there just a few weeks ago, and they said, they want to kill us. There's a danger here. We have to go through this stuff. And he goes, but why do they want to kill us? I don't care why. Why doesn't matter. It's because, that's the end of the discussion. And if we're socially and economically engineering people around the planet and they don't like it, are they allowed to complain? Are they allowed to resist? Well, we have people here resisting, and we got the WikiLeaks. So, regardless of what our opinion is either way, this battle is engaged, and it's going to get worse. And you're going to have the hackers going after this, and the people releasing, and them arresting, and them shipping them off wherever. That's what we're going to be talking about when we come back here with my guest, Matt Bruce, here on Declare Your Independence in just a little bit.